Hi, I'm Jim Watson. This is called The Battle. A lot out there about Charlie Kirk. I liked Charlie Kirk. And the reason I liked him is he loved Jesus Christ and he wasn't afraid to proclaim it. Now, Charlie was in the political world. A lot of political type people will try to use the generic God term, like, oh, I love God. Charlie had no problem talking about Jesus Christ, and I think that was fantastic. But what's so surprising is these heartless responses to his passing. At first I'm like, why are people talking like this? I mean, he had two children, he had a wife. I mean, in fact, he was shot in front of one of his children and his wife. And the remarks are just stunning. Even, I mean, you guys probably saw this one where Stephen King came out, and if it's from an article. It says, in a now deleted post, King wrote, he advocates stoning gays to death. Just saying. Charlie never did this. It's a lie. And after, it was brought to King's attention that this is a lie, he deleted it and apologized. But it brings up the question, why did he believe it? Why did he think that was true? And the sad part, here's Stephen King, famous author, has written a bunch of books, but apparently he can't think critically. He hears a soundbite, he believes it. Well, why would he believe a soundbite? Because all he listens to is people talking negatively or in lying about Charlie Kirk. If you just hear lies over and over again, there's an old saying, if you say a lie enough times, it becomes true to people. And obviously, he thought Kirk would say this because all he's heard is lies about Charlie Kirk, and he never thought to go past a soundbite. I mean, when I hear that a person has said something that's pretty extreme, I don't care if it's on left or right. If I heard that someone said something like this, I would investigate. I wouldn't believe the soundbite. I'd go into an investigation. Charlie Kirk was talking about a person who said this phrase and how much he was against it and how wrong it was. But someone just played the clip of Charlie Kirk quoting someone that he disagreed with. But if you only go to the 8-second soundbite, guess what? You can make anyone sound like anything. And that's a lack of critical thought. And that's what's happening. And Charlie knew this. And Charlie was trying to have conversations with people. Let's talk to each other. Let's get to know one another. And then we can understand one another. And there's so much truth to that. But we're so big on wanting to hate and disagree that we stop seeing a person. And that's what happens. When you stop seeing a person, you start devaluing people. And when you start devaluing people, then it's no problem one of them when their life's taken from them. You cheer. Why? Because we've made life mean nothing. Every life is valuable and should be seen that way. Now, this critical thought, it's sad that we don't seem to be able to do that anymore. You just take sides, or you want to believe something about a person instead of learning about the person. Now, Bill Maher, I don't know if there's anything I agree with him on. Probably a few things, we both agree what happened to Charlie was awful. But I'll hear a soundbite of Maher. I'm not going to just listen to an 8-second soundbite. I'm going to listen to the whole thing. I'm going to see what he actually said. The reason I listen to what he said is because I end up agreeing with him, but because it helps me understand who he is, how he came from this viewpoint. I know Maher's an atheist, and that gives a lot of explanation of why he believes what he believes. But it helps me understand him. And by understanding, I know where he's coming from. I know what he's about. That is helpful. But if you're just looking to hate a person, that's sad. I like to know people. I like to know where they came from, why they came from them, how they got to this point, how they got to this viewpoint. Because it gives you an insight into the person. And people are worth knowing. And Charlie really wanted to do something about that. And that's why he went out to the people. He wasn't just counting on his podcast. He would go on campuses. Thousands of kids would show up and he would just talk to them. He would have a conversation with them. He wasn't attacking them. He wasn't calling them names. He was having a conversation. He wanted to know why they believed what they believed. He would ask them that many times. Well, how did you come to that conclusion? Why do you believe that? These are questions he asked because he wanted to understand the person. And by understanding the person, he actually could communicate with them. If we can start understanding each other, maybe we can start valuing life again. That we can see that we're talking to a human being here. And that this person, okay, I get where you're coming from. I understand that. I may not agree with it, but I understand where you're coming from. And I understand how you got there. It's like when people say to me, no, why does God let terrible things happen to good people? Usually my response is, who did you love that got hurt? Or who did you love that died? Usually that question comes from a point of pain. And I want to know, I don't start going to this theological debate of why God would allow this to happen. I want to know what happened in their life that caused that pain. And then I can get to know them. Well, I'm hoping in Charlie Kirk's death, we can actually come to, what he wants to do can go further and further, where we can start knowing each other. I hope that happens. I hope people can start looking to think critically instead of just listening to a soundbite. Well, I hope you have a great day. I'm praying for you. God bless.